Hey, what's up? It's Philip from Easy Unreal and welcome back to another tutorial. Today I will show you how to create this simple gate scene with some pillars, some fires and some foliage and trees. I think this should be very easy to follow, and as always, if you like this video, drop some comments and likes below. First step is to create our project. I will go with the games and the third person, and over here I will type in gate. This should be the name of our project and click create. Before we start creating a new level, if you have a problems with the Unreal Engine and you want to make it run smoother, go over here to settings, and over here under engine scalability settings, choose some lower scalability groups like medium or high. And if you want to have same layout as mine, just go over here under the window and over here load the default editor layout. And we will have the same layout for this tutorial. Okay, the first thing to do is to go file over here and create a new level. Just click it and we will choose the basic and we'll hit create. We can click over here on our floor and just delete it. Next thing is we want to create some landscapes. To do that, we will go with the Shift 2 in the landscape mode. Over here we can leave this as it is as the default, or we can increase the size of our landscape, but the default will be fine, so we can just hit create. And we have our landscape. Let me now show you how to use the Unreal Engine navigation, but if you already know how to do that, you can skip it in the timestamps with the timestamps below. Just a quick tip: to move around the editor, hold down the right mouse button and use standard first-person shooter keys. To go up and down, use Q and E. And while doing this, scroll the mouse wheel up and down to speed up or slow down the camera. If you are far from the object, use F to focus. To move objects, press W key and use the arrows. To rotate, press E key. And to scale it, press R. All these options are available at the top right corner. You can check all these shortcuts and more in the description below. If I hit play, you see that we are falling down, so we go to selection, we go to landscape, press F to focus it. We need to position the player start. Just click the player start in the outliner and press F on your keyboard. You can see it's below the landscape, so just move it up a little bit like this. So if I hit play, we are now walking on our landscape. Let's go back to the landscape mode. If you want to quickly create your landscape, you can go and paint like this, sculpt your landscape, or we can do this by using the noise tool. Just click the noise and over here increase the tool strength and increase the brush size to be really big. And now just paint over the landscape. You can see it immediately creates our landscape, but it's a little bit too harsh, so we will reduce this tool strength and make our landscape very quickly create some nice landscape like this. Okay, if we go back to the selection and hit play, we have our landscape created very easily and very fast. Okay, the next step for us is to create the wall and the gates. First of all, we want to download our gates. To do that, we will go to the website, and over here I will choose this ancient gate. Just click on it, hit over here download 3D model, and instead this OBJ original format, we'll use this GLTF converted format because we will save the time with applying textures to it. So just click download. I will download it on my desktop. Okay, we want now to import our gates. To do that, I will go with Control and space to open our content drawer and click over here dock in layout. So it's always there. Now all you need to do is to right click on it, 7-zip and extract to ancient gate so it creates its own folder. And just drag that folder into the Unreal Engine. Just one tip: if your model has lots of meshes, it's very advisable to click these combine static meshes. I will just use this as a precaution, and I click import and it says import done. Just click on this ancient gate and we have this gate over here. We can just drag and drop it to our level. Move it up and change the rotation. Maybe it's a little big, let's check it out. Right click and play from here. But they're just fine. It's okay, we'll use this. It's okay to save everything, just go file and click over here save current level and name it my level, and we are just fine. Don't worry about these black artifacts, just look away, look back, and they are gone. And now we are going to import our mountains. To do that, we'll use Quixel Megascans, and to access it, it's completely free. Click over here, click Quixel Bridge, and over here we'll find our mountain. I already have downloaded under the local lots of these mountains, and we will use this huge Nordic coastal cliff. To just hit the download over here under the green button and click add, and it will add it to your project. Another good thing is that you can just drag and drop mountain to your project. Just select it and drag and drop it over here. And we need to make it bigger. You can press R and make it bigger like this and move it, for example, over here, and rotate it. If you have problems with the rotation, you can see this stuttering move. This means that it aligns your object to the grid. So to change that, to make it smooth, just enable or disable the snapping. I will disable or the snapping over here. And now you can just smoothly move around. You can copy this by holding the Alt key and just move it over here and rotate it. And now if I go F11, we can go the full screen to see this better, and we will copy paste these mountains. So this looks like some kind of wall with the gates over here. Let's now add textures to our landscape. Go F11, and go back to the Quixel Bridge. And over here I will go with the surfaces and choose one of these textures. And we can go with this Nordic Forest ground moss course. Just hit download and click add to project, and it will add it over here. Now make sure to select the landscape on the right side. And if you scroll down, you can see this landscape material. Now just drag and drop this to the landscape material. As you can see, it will automatically apply our texture to the landscape. Now right click, play from here. And we have our texture, but it's a little bit small, tiny, so we need to make it bigger. Just go escape. All you need to do is to double click on it. Over here on the tiling offset, enable it and expand it. Make it 0.2 and 0.2. You can save this over here. And if we go back to our level, you can see it looks better now. Before we add some trees and some foliage, let's add some more stones. To do that, I will go back. I will go to my downloaded material. You can also always go search over here and find it in the collection. I will go with the 3D assets and add some, for example, this Nordic beach rock formation, and hit over here export. And on the left side under the Megascans 3D assets, we have our cliff and we have this beach formation. So we just drag and drop it over here, make it a little bigger and move it here. Like this, we can copy paste it, change direction. We can also again copy paste it here. Next step is that we want to add some pillars. We will go back to our Sketchfab, type in pillar, choose downloadable, and I can see over here that these ancient pillars will be just fine. Over here, choose this GLTF format, save it on your desktop, and we can go back to content folder, extract this to the ancient pillars folder, just drag and drop the folder. And we want to make sure that we don't combine static meshes, because it will combine all the pillars into one. So go import, and if you go inside ancient pillars, you can see that we have these 4 ancient pillars. You can click over here static mesh to filter them out. If you don't have this filter, just click over here and enable static mesh filter, material filter, or whatever you need. We'll just drag and drop this one and make it bigger, like this. And move it here, maybe a little bit here, and we have this pillar over here. We want to add some fire on top of this pillar, so we can just copy paste it to the other side. To do that, we will go to the Sketchfab again, just type in fire pit, and over here we'll choose one fire pit, for example this one. And as always, we will download it as GLTF format, desktop. all same, and we will export it 7-zip. We'll extract to our folder, go to content folder, disable this static mesh, and just drag and drop fire pit here and click import. If I open it, you can see your fire pit over here. So we can just drag and drop it on top of our pillar and make it bigger. Make sure to position it right, like this. Next step is to add some fire. To do that, we will import VFX, go over here, add, and add over here, add feature or content pack. And we go to content, and over here, starter content, click add to project, and wait for a few moments to load it out. Now select the starter content folder and type in over here fire. And we can see this fire particle system. Now just drag it and drop it to our fireplace. Press F to focus it. You can make it bigger or smaller. For example, like this, and position it inside our pillar. You can always select your fire in the outliner and move it accordingly. We can also make it a little bigger so it can be seen better. And now we want to select our pillar, hold shift and select fireplace. And we want to select our fire, hold shift, and we have these three things selected. And now just right click, hit group. And it will group our object and our fire. And all we need to do now is to press W, Alt, and copy paste it to the right side. Position it a little bit, move it over here. If I hit play and press F11, we can see our pillars and the fire on top of them. Go F11. We can also make this a little bit smaller so we can see the fire better, and make this one smaller also and drag it over here. Now if I hit play from here, we can see this better, but everything is broken, so we need to fix it. To fix it, select it, right click and click ungroup. And now you can position your assets as usual. Sometimes when you group things and change the size, everything will be broken. So be aware of this. Because of that, you will need to fix things later. And because I didn't think in advance, I now must do everything double. It's okay with this small scene, but if you have a bigger scene, it will really take your time. So be aware and think in advance, unlike others over here. Okay, it's a good time to save everything. Control Alt and S and hit save, and it will save everything. And we hit play from here and press F11 to go full screen. We have our scene. The last thing to do is to add some grass, trees and some foliage. To do that, we will use our foliage tool. So go to foliage, over here go to select, and it says drop foliage here. First we need to download some foliage, so select your content over here. And let's go to bridge and let's download, for example, this wild grass. Just hit add and it will add this grass to our Unreal Engine. And all we need to do is click over here static mesh, select all of them or few of them that you find interesting, and just drag and drop it over here in the foliage. Okay, select all of them, enable them, and now go over here to the paint so we can paint the foliage. If I click and paint, you can see our foliage over here. Right now it looks actually pretty nice, but let's change something. We can change this paint density to be higher, and we want to paint only on landscape. So we'll uncheck this too. We are going down and we will change the density to be 10. And we want to scale it to be in the different size. So make sure to be 0.5 to 1.5, for example. And if you hold shift, you can delete this. And now let's paint and see how it looks. And it looks okay, maybe a little bit more density, like 15. So we go up and we change the up here in the paint. In the brush size, we'll increase the brush size and just paint over here like this. If I zoom in, you can see that we have our foliage here. Nice, we can make this brush size a little smaller, so we can paint it like this. And paint everywhere you want to add the foliage. We have our grass, now let's add trees. To do that, go to Epic Launcher, go over here under the free. Inside the Unreal Engine Marketplace, we will use these Megascans trees. So just hit add to project and choose the project you want to add your trees. Select, click add to project. And wait for a few moments to download it, or if you have downloaded already, it will be faster, of course. Let's go back to Unreal Engine, and on the left side you can see that we have this black alder folder. To add our trees, go to Geometry and go to Simple Wind and click this static mesh, and we will now add, just like we add our grass, we will add our trees. For example, we will choose this one, this one, this one, and this one, and we will add them here. And we have these trees over here, but we want to paint only our trees, so select everything. So Control A and disable everything. Now just select your trees by holding Control and enable it. And if I hit paint, it's a little bit dense, so go Control Z to undo. Make sure its density is 1, and we have our trees over here. So all you need to do is to paint it over your landscape. We won't enable this align to normal because trees grows straight. So we have straight trees like this. So just paint it, for example, over here and over here. Let's go back to the selection and go over here, play from here, so we can check out our level. Looks good. We have our temple here. If I go F11, we can see our trees. Let's now add some atmosphere to our level. First of all, we will use Ctrl L to change the direction of the sun. Just press Ctrl L, hold it, and change the sun rotation. Let's now add post-process volume over here. Post-process volume will be our best way to deal with some atmosphere. So you can see that post-process volume is a cube over here. It affects only what's inside the cube. We want to affect the whole level. And to do that, select your post-process volume and type in infinite and make sure that infinite extent is unbound. Now we will play with exposure. Type in exposure and over here metering mode to be manual and exposure compensation. Increase it until you see it, until it's looking good, like something like this. Now we want to add some fog to add some mystical feeling. To do that, go over here in the outliner and find exponential height fog and go down until you see volumetric fog. Click it. And I can see that we already got the nice atmosphere over here. If I turn it off, you can see it's blue. But if I turn it on, you can see the nice atmosphere. If you want, you can add more fog by increasing this extinction scale. So if you increase this extinction scale, it will add more fog to your level. We will not overdo it, just a little, like this. And if I hit play from here, we can see this nice temple in the background. And change intensity of redirectional light to be 3. So this fire can pop out. You can type in bloom and click this light shaft bloom. So you can get this nice God rays from our sun, for example. You can see like this. And you can increase or decrease the intensity of this bloom effect. Increase it or decrease it. I will just add a little bit of it. 0.01. Go back to bridge and choose this Japanese metal lantern. Just hit download and we'll add it to the project. Go to Megascans and just drag and drop the lantern over here. It's a bit small, so we can increase in size. We can also add flames inside. To do that, go to all and type in fire. Uncheck this static mesh and again drag this fire over here. And make sure that is inside the lantern. Select the fire and select the lantern and just copy paste it to the right side. We can rotate everything. We can go back to content, add some other pillars. For example, this one, this is the smaller one. We can make it bigger and copy paste it over here and also add some fire. We can copy fire from here. We can just drag and drop it over here and reduce in size and just copy paste to the right side. Like this. And if I hit play, we have our pillars with our flames. As you can see, we need to move this fire a little bit down. So just select it and move it down. This one also. This one also. We can also make a simple path. To do that, we'll just drag and drop this rocky forest path to our level. Make it a little bigger. Move it here. And all we need to do is now just copy paste this here, copy here, here, move it a little bit down and check if everything is okay. Just copy paste and just move it inside a terrain a little bit. Let's add some rocks to populate the area. Go to bridge and type in small rock. And we have a bunch of rocks over here, so we will choose, for example, this one. You can hold Control and choose this one, and you can see that we have two assets selected, so you can download and import multiple assets to your level, like this. And you hit download. After the download is finished, just hit add. And it will add rocks to your level, so we can just go to Megascans, 3D Assets, click Static Mesh, and type in rock. We want to use our paint tool, our foliage, go back to foliage, select this one, this, and this. Just drag and drop to the foliage, and now select our rocks, and we can paint. It's a bit dense, so just undo this, and move down, change density to B3, it looks good. Another great thing is that we can just delete this, and we can go to scale, for example, from 0.5 to 2, and it will give us a different size of our rocks. And with the Z offset, we'll put these rocks a little bit inside our terrain, so we can go with the maximum to be -10, for example. And let's check it out. If I paint it, you can see that our rocks are now a little bit inside the terrain, which will make this looks even better. I think this is nice, so we can delete test and we can paint it. If I go to foliage mode, selection, play from here, we can see our rocks, our path, and I think this looks really nice. As you can see, our foliage looks a little bit small, so I will add another batch of foliage over here, 3D plants, go to local, 3D plants. Let's add this chamomile, just export the project. We go back to our foliage as always and go to the Megascans, 3D assets, and we will choose these plants, and as usual drag and drop these plants to our foliage type. Our foliage, select everything, disable everything, and now just select our chamomile from here to here, enable it, and paint a little bit. And from the start this looks nice, so we can just paint it over here, here, and here. And if I go to selection and hit play, this looks a little bit better. Also, we can add some other flowers. Add these daffodils, just hit add, and we go back to foliage mode, and we will go and add daffodils over here. Not much of them, probably this one, this one, this one, and this one. And just drop to the foliage mode. We can see our Control A, disable, select your daffodils, dandelions, whatever, and we will make this, okay, this is just going to our way, so density to be 3 and size scale X from 1 to 5 and paint it over here. Let's go back to selection mode. And if I go F11, we can see our level. If you hit play, and you got this error on the top left side, you can just go escape, and over here under console command, type in this R streaming pool size 2000 and just hit enter. And now if we click play, it will be just fine. And this is practically it from this beginner level tutorial. I hope everything was understandable and easy to follow. If it is, please check out my other videos, and don't forget that you have 75 tips and tricks about Unreal Engine in the description below. Until then, have a nice day and good luck with Unreal Engine. See ya, bye bye.